Meusa, please begin.
Okay, welcome you all. Welcome Dr. Selviraj sir on Padul University Faculty of Commerce on online webinar team. First of all, today we have a speaker, Dr. Selviraj sir. So, before we start this webinar on framework of research article and research title, I would like to give the brief information about our speaker today. Dr. Selvaraj sir is head of the Department of Geoinformatic Park Institute in Coimbatore, Tamil Nadu, and also sir is a course coordinator in IRRS and ISRO Nodal Center at Park Institute and Coimbatore, Tamil Nadu. If we talk about the sir's education and the qualification, sir is PhD in remote sensing and geoinformatics from National Institute of Technology, Tamil Nadu. Sir also completed their MTech in remote sensing and BTech in electrical and electronic engineering. This is about sir education and about their current work experience. But sir also have received a lots of awards. Sir is also having lots of experience. Sir is also getting lots of grants. So total sir have received 5 grants awards, and sir is also honored with the Young Scientist Award as well as Best Young Researcher Award. Even sir have participated in the national level event conducted by ISRO, and that event was Mapton, where sir was a winner, and also sir have published the 7 patent publication registered with their name, and also more than 7 research papers sir have published in national and international journal, as well as sir have published a 2 book from their domain. Other than this, sir is also attended one NASA Applied Remote Training Program in the year of 2020-22. There are so many things are there to add on and introduce about the sir. We have a well-known personality with us, a faculty with us. So rather than taking more time, now I would like to hand over this PU webinar platform to Dr. Selvaraj sir. Thank you so much sir, for coming here and to be a part of Parul University and PU webinar, sir. Now it's up to you, sir.
Sir, thank you. Thanks for good introduction about me. Really, very honored to me, and much privileged to talk in front of you. Really, because this is the first time to have representation in the North. Really, very good experience that we are going to have. Okay, so I start the sessions today. That is, so welcome to the presentation on the framework of research title and research article. It's very important right now in educational sectors and academic activity. It's very very important. And just to go the introductions about this. Okay, so this is so why we go for the scientific articles or thesis or whatever, right? The scientific article which provides the method, some scientific methods or general method or whatever. So that method may be communicated with other researchers. For example, I am communicating some of the things with you, right? So this is some kind of event, right? So similarly, technically, we are going to communicate with researchers or scientists about the finding. Okay, so we do some findings on our work normally. Okay, so new finding or whatever are existing finding, but whatever basically we'll be finding something in the our college or school, whatever, right? School or college or research right side. Okay, so whatever we do something and we are finding, so that will be communicated. Okay, that will be communicated. So it's very important. Okay, so the communications to be done through channels. Okay, so normally we are learning some of the things and we are transferring to the channel so that everybody can get to know the concept about it. Okay, so this is what basically we are going to read. Okay, so but one thing you have to understand that our results to be peer reviewed. It's very very important. For example, I'm finding something. Okay, even I find something, it is I satisfied with the things, but It's not like that. Okay, but we have some protocol. Okay, that protocol to be peer reviewed and then published in the journal. It's a very very important. Which is also very important thing. So finding is not important thing, but it should be peer reviewed. So, but however, even if we want to publish something or we want to write something thesis, but right now I think you are studying in the commerce and become or management, whatever. But you should have some involvement. It's very important, right? So, research it does not come with like what we can say. It's not. It does not come with manual, isn't it? It does come definitely. It does come with manual. It is come with our mind. It's very very important, right? So you have to think, you have to turn our mind into thinking. Okay. So the thinking it's a converted. Okay. So thinking is converted into research. Isn't it? Here some people are finding something. Okay. So without involvement we cannot get something. Isn't it? So all the research or thesis or research papers or your project proposal in future. Okay. So everything is comes from our mind. So our mind to be converted into paper. This is what basically we are doing that, right? Our mind is converted into paper in terms of thesis, in terms of research paper, isn't it? So very important. This. So for to start with research idea, always you have to go for appropriate research strategy. It's very important, right? Because if you come across any research field, it has some protocol, some strategy is there. Accordingly, you got to follow it. Okay, so most important is that research strategy. Then it is another important thing is data collection. It's very important, right? Unless data, we cannot apply. For example, I had some idea today in my mind. I want to apply the mind into some particular thing, right? So data may be like image data or one-dimensional data or two-dimensional data. But normally, if you come across like that management students or commerce students, normally you deal with data, right? Like financial data, financial aspect data. For example, impact of global money, impact of global money due to the COVID-19, impact of the financial aspect before COVID-19, after COVID-19. Always we'll be dealing with data, right? So unless we have the data, so we cannot get any research methodologies, we cannot apply anything, right? So we cannot get any consequence. Very important. We cannot get any consequence. So the data collection is very very important, and it's a very preliminary things in our research. So whatever, right? You are maybe belongs to like arts or science students or engineering student or medical student, whatever. Even if you go for medical, they have the data, right? Some medical data like time series data of our heartbeat, time series data. For example, my heartbeat right now like this and tomorrow. Okay, so some fluctuation may be there. So wherever you go, the data collection is very important, isn't it? So unless data collections, your research is endless, isn't it? It's very important. And finally, the techniques. So what are the method we are going to adapt it? For example, I collected some of the things from bank. For instance, since you are from these were commercial, I mean, commerce department, management departments, you are going to collect some of the things in the field. For example, you are going to some data from the bank. Some data may be there, some salary statement may be there, or you can go for in general climate data may be there. What about the temperature today, isn't it? What about the temperature today? What about that other climate parameter are there? So daily we are dealing with data. So it may be like technical data, non-technical data, isn't it? So you have to collect those data. After collecting the data, what we do is we are going to apply the method. Okay, so here method in sense I'm mentioning the appropriate analysis or appropriate method to be carried out on the data. Simply I'm saying that we are going to apply some of the things to the data. Don't bother about the results and that. First of all, don't bother about the results. Don't bother about that consequence of the result. It may be positive or negative. First, you think that. First, you collect the data. That's it. Okay. After that, try something. You try something on the data. You have to add the data. You have to separate the data. You have to divide the data. To take some of the mathematical operations to be done on the data. Do something on the data. That's it. So don't bother about that. About collect results. Okay, so that you have to keep in mind that always, even in your UG or PG, or even some of the maybe in your class maybe going for higher studies, right? Or in PhD also, right? Don't bother about that anything about the results. first you have to get involvement on the data. It's very important. So this is what start with the research idea. As earlier said, the results of anything does not come from the man. It comes from our idea. Okay. For that only I am mentioning. Okay. In this slide, you can see that I given the format of the research papers. Isn't it? It's a very, very important thing. Even if you're writing in some of the maybe in the final year students, Dr. Jigan sir said and Mehul sir said also, right? It will be very useful for students if you're presenting this idea in this manner. So I hope it will be useful for you. Okay, so when we talk about the format of the research paper, it contains some of the things like title, it's a very important thing that, and followed by the authors, abstract, introductions, materials and methods, and reference. So these are the mandatory details to be addressed even in you are in individual level, even if you are in the like final year project also. So you got to follow this method. I don't know about that, but it will be very depending upon university, right? Since you are UG, maybe the regulation maybe changes university to university. But however, accordingly, definitely title will be there, right? Author will be there, definitely abstract will be there. Some, however, some slide may be changed, slide changes may be there. Okay. And when we talk about the title, right? So this is what we are going to present it. How we are fixing the title. I have some idea. I presenting everything. I got results. Okay. I interpreted everything, but I cannot arrive the title. How to fix the title? Okay. So for title, it's a very important learning process. You have some characteristic of the good title. Okay. When we talk about the characteristic of the a good title, I can say it will allow the reader in the sense user or every one of us readers, right? Okay, even I am the researcher. Sometimes I can maybe like a reader also because I want to read something from some person, right? So the title will allow the reader to make prediction about the content. Okay, to make the prediction about the content. Okay, so then only you can say this. It's a good title, and the title will be very interesting. Very interesting. Suppose if readers, for example, I said right now due to since COVID-19, the topic may be like impact of, I mean, impact in sense whether it will be positive impact or negative impact also there, isn't it? Always when we talk about impact, it consists of like positive impact and negative impact, right? About what is your impact in your research? Okay, whether the COVID-19 impact our economy when we talk about like in commercial aspect like that. Okay, so the title will be very interesting and very attractive. And another thing you should keep in that the title will be very trend. It's very important. There. Okay, so 10 years back maybe the trend may be different. After 10 years, the trend in future the trend may be changes. Okay, so according to trends of the particular field, it may be like engineering or arts and science or medical, whatever, right? The title will be accordingly. So very important. Okay, and the title to be capture the tone of the paper, and the title will have the relevant keyword. The keyword is very important. For example, you are going to use Python programming for your data. Right now, the world will be under the Python control, right? Suppose you have some data in your final year, you have some data from collected from bank or from some various sectors, various government sectors, finance sectors, isn't it? So whatever the data, you have to apply the data in current trends, isn't it? So you have some relevant keyword. For example, I have done the coding with your data, Python. So the coding will be like Python, isn't it? So the reader may be attractive. For example, some university students maybe become students or income students or MBA students maybe read out some of the papers. If it is keyword in Python means very interactive, so that we get some citations. Very important, right? Citation or your a research paper or thesis will be appreciated if you go for any interview. See, according to my experience, right? So project title is very, very important. Project, not only the content of the project also. Okay, even in the UG or PG. Okay, it's a very important thing. So you give the importance to this field, to the kind of activity in your final year. Even if you are in the junior, right, it will be very input for you in future. Okay, so here the types of titles has different titles, right? In left side, I can see given some of the important project with respect to the commerce field, impact of the outsourcing, material availability and decision making, enhancing employment performance, Even we can do some projects like employment performance after COVID, before COVID, because nowadays people are working in the work from the home. Recently, we can read out some things in newspaper. Around more than 200, 300 people are relieved from the duty. Okay, so due to they call back to the office. So now the trend is going to change. Okay, work from the home. So we can do some project also, right? Enhancing environment performance after COVID-19 and before COVID-19. Okay, you do things by using some decision making algorithm like SPSS tool, right? Nowadays we are using the some Python programming, Java programming. Okay, a lot of statistical techniques are there. You make use of all those techniques in this kind of projects, okay? And outsourcing human resource in beverage and food finance, role of e-commerce and reduction operation cost, reducing unemployment through cooperate movement, and analysis of downside. So these are the projects right now we are dealing with that. Okay, and when we talk about the types of titles, we have like descriptive and declarative or interrogative, and finally nominal. Okay, so I am telling you one by one. Don't worry about that. Okay, and, yeah. So when you talk about the descriptive, it has some essential component like research theme. However, it does not reveal the main results of the conclusion. We don't want to give any conclusion about it. Okay, so just a simple like giving some theme. That's it. It does not correlate with any main results or conclusions. It is kind of things is belongs to descriptive. And when we go for declarative or interrogative, the title states main finding of the study in it, again title itself. Okay, we do some research on particular data and we are finding something. Just now I said, right? These are the positive impact are there in particular bank. These are the negative impact on the particular bank or organizations or whatever, right? And we are going to find, we are going to incorporate some finding on the title itself, isn't it? So you can search lot of titles with your field. Okay, you can come to know that. Okay, I'm telling you what are the sources are there to search all those things. And when you go for nominal compound, simply we can study like simple compound complex, right? In school, right? In grammar, right? Sometimes our research always associated with some other things. Here I said earlier, I have some data in economically, or I have some data through the bank, in which I'm going to apply some of the programming knowledge and this data science. Data science is very important, right? Nowadays, trend will be like this. Data scientist, okay, it may be spatial data scientist, like economical data scientist, commerce data scientist, okay, so whatever. Okay, here component sense we are incorporate some other techniques. Okay, some other techniques it is associated. So what I say is simply I'm saying that I have to do one work in which I can incorporate some of the things into that in work. Okay, it will be contributing like 10%, 20%. Okay, this is my main work is 70%. But I go for example, validations. I'm going to validate the research. Okay, always if you go for any research or if you go for not only for usual PG project or a PhD project or PDF project, whatever. Okay, field validation is very important as well as you go to validate your research because I have to one work. I know something. I make some research, but I don't know whether it will be correct or not. I don't know. Okay, so you are the people or some other subject experts wanted to judge my data or research, isn't it? So I should validate your research. For validation purpose, I can incorporate some of the things. For example, fuzzy techniques is there, unfizz is there. Okay, technical terms, you have a lot of technical terms is there. Okay, artificial fuzzy inference system and deep learning technique is there and genetic algorithm there. So there's various techniques are there to validate your results. Okay, so by that time I can incorporate, for example, validation of the impact of COVID-19 data in the bank by using fuzzy inference system. So validation. So you can make use of that associated things into a title. I'm telling you, okay, wait, I'm telling you that how to make title. I think after listening this lesson, I think you are going to make according to my procedures. You are going to do, and I going to send to the title also in my mail. Okay. Yeah, so we go for title building process. Okay, always your title should be able to answer your WH question. For example, I have studied conducted in particular area. I have studied conducted in particular bank. I have studied particular things in particular Birla company. I have studied these studies will be conducted in this among the people. Okay, so what you did? Okay, what you did? Okay, how you did? Where you did? All those questions are like nothing but like WH question. So your title or whole thesis, okay, whole thesis or particularly when you go for title, should able to answer WH questions, isn't it? Then after that you go for the collection of gathering of all the keyword, all the keyword. You have to collect all the keyword from our project, and you have to choose. Even you can find lot of keyword are there. You can find n number of keyword, isn't it? But you have to choose best alternative keyword, best alternative, because the reader wanted to study something in trend of matter. For example, application of the machine learning on our commerce, etc. So now the keyword is machine learning, isn't it? So the n number of reader can interact with your paper or in your thesis. That's very very important. And after that, I go to frame the detailed sentences with your keywords. Using those keywords, frame the one detailed sentence. Okay, don't bother about that whether it will be correct or not. You have the guidance in your university also, right? So interact with our particular guide. Okay, so whether this title is good or not, sir, you can interact with this. Are your friends, and there are a number of subject experts that you have to mail them. You definitely get the input from them, isn't it? And the title will have the relevant keyword. It's a very important keyword. Okay, so don't go for deviation. Okay, all the keyword to be implemented. So don't for attraction purpose. If I'm not doing something, okay, but I cannot incorporate those keyword. All the keyword to be implemented in your project, isn't it? It's very important because they check it out whether the keyboard, whether the keyword is implemented in particular project or not. They check it out, and after that you have to find the after making some sentence. So what you do is remove the unwanted words. Remove the unwanted words. Very important thing. And finally get some sentence like this. Then you can go for some modifications, or you have to fix the as it is. Okay, so here the another thing is that you have to remove the not unnecessary things. Okay, unnecessary information may be like very long. Your project may be very long, title may be very long or short. You have to increase these sentence length or decrease the sentence length. Here normally it will be showing like 10 to 15 words. Okay, so try to reduce or try to increase accordingly this format. I said right. You have to answer always the WH questions to your title to be answer. So this is one of my paper. This is a Mamtani fuzzy based decision support system for prediction of groundwater quality and application of soft computing to water resources. Very important environmental paper. Here, what techniques I said, right? The title should be answered about some WH questions. For example, here I can raise the questions. What technique you used? I can say like fuzzy, in which Mamtani and so on kind of technique. Even this kind of approach will be applicable to you. See, better you can get some idea from technical people also. So very attractive. You can get a lot of opportunities to you in future. Okay, so this is I don't know whether it will be, but however this fuzzy is like mathematics only. So everyone knowing about that fuzzy. What do you mean with fuzzy? Fuzzy in sense not precise. I cannot predict what about the temperature today, what about the temperature tomorrow. Even I cannot predict what about your age, what about your height. All those data will be dealing with imprecise. Imprecise data is nothing but exactly what is the fuzzy. In fuzzy, Mamtani is another kind of classifications. Okay, so what technique here used? I can say Mamtani Bati based, because as earlier I said, your title should be answer the questions. And here, what is applications very important. Here I am putting some application also. Okay, you can make title accordingly. Mostly, some of the people may not be knowing this, may not be implementing this kind of application, but it will be very attractive to this. For example, application of web data in banking sector. Okay, only those are people will be searching for banking project. They will be searching this paper. Otherwise, just leave it. The people may leave it there because it is irrelevant to them. Okay, the paper, the title may be irrelevant to them. Just skip it, isn't it? So you can mention your application also. So whatever applications, you can application in the textile industry, like your application in the medical field, engineering field, okay, and management field, okay, wherever you can mention your application. So since I am mentioning this, it will be attractive initially. Initially, this paper is getting rejected. Would you believe it? I don't know, but this paper is rejected for me 3 times. Rejected me 3 times. Okay, so because of title, because of something that like that, okay, I don't know. At this stage, I don't know. At college level, ED level, they don't know. But lot of things are there. Okay, in future, maybe you learning about that, isn't it? So publishing in the journals very difficult. Okay, so uh, you should have some learning process. Okay, so after giving some of the input, finally accepted after 3 to 4 rejections, finally accepted. Okay, so because of main thing is that the title attracts. I changed the title finally. Okay, like that I putting application of some computing in the water resource. So they are attracted by them, isn't it? Okay, nowadays subcomputing technique is very important. Application of subcomputing you do subcomputing application in your data. Okay, and you can mention the keywords like what are the catch keywords are there or attractive keyword like water quality index, Mamtani Fuzzy inference system, and who standard. Yeah, people wanted to search according to the keyword only. Okay, so that your paper will be displayed. So you'll be getting notification, you'll be getting visible to others, so that you can get citation also. Here this paper almost 9 citation also we got. Okay, so like this we'll be getting some citations. Okay, and finally, here I made decisions like Mamdani Fuzzy based decision support system of groundwater and application of soft computing in water resources. So this is what arrival of title. Okay, so to arrival of title, you do some of the things. Okay, what I've said earlier. And also always when you go for that title, running title also always associated with. So this is another kind of paper that is also like Web of Science, like SCA paper, Science Citation Index paper only. Okay. Here also like they ask like if you searching the paper, I mean in website they will be mentioning the running title also. Okay, so always when you go interact with like this, the editor or our particular person may be asking about what about the running title. Running title in sense like shorten our title. That's it. For example, in this paper you can see I mentioning development of spectral library of mangrove native species of Muthupatti lagoon, Tamil Nadu, India using field spectroscopic instrument. It's like lengthy. Okay, but you want to reduce the title for running title. Okay, so here the running title may be like spectral library generation using FSI abbreviation. I shorten this. Okay, field spectroscopic instrument. Okay, so now when you read this title, very attractive, right? Spectral library generation. I cut down all those things. I cut it down all those unnecessary things like development. I cut it down, isn't it? And I shortened that field spectroscopic into FSI. That's it. I did not mention about what kind of spectral library. I mean where we are applying. Okay, so I'm not mentioning here. Mango, isn't it? I leave those information. Okay, so to running the title, what you do is you have to discard the some of the unnecessary things. That's it. You go to discard the unnecessary thing. You go to come down with attractive information. So like this, you go to do the for running title purpose. So these are the checklist you have to do. There are like n number of things is there. It should be like interesting and informative. Okay, it should be very concise, Don't want to go for like essay writing and all. Don't put like 10 to 5 sentences like that. It's very irritating for editors or your evaluators. Even in PG also, in UG also, don't do like big things like that. Okay, it takes time to complete. Even if you are presenting in your final project, I'm going to present title. Okay, just shorten the title. Okay, so that I'm mentioning it should be very concise and precise, not precise. It's precise. Okay, it means what? It should be very accurate. Okay, and should include main theme of the paper. And here it's not lead, misleading, and misrepresentative. And as I said earlier, it should not be too long or too short. It should avoid whimsical or amusing words. Okay, so these are things we want to do. And another important terms is keyword is also mentioning that. Okay, so keyword also mentioning. Wait a second. Yeah, this. So important terms like keywords should be placed, as I said earlier. Okay. Now these are the major important. You know, according to this authors, building is to do according to author at 2019. Okay, he said some of the important things you have to follow it. Okay, so we are the reader, we are the researchers. You have to follow. These are the terms and conditions. So your project will be very very impressive, very very attractive. Your construction thesis is very important. Even I find something in my mind, but I want to present. Even if I have knowledge in present, okay, but your presentation is very very important. Okay, so you have to follow, you have to read all those things. Then these are another things that you have to go for abstract. Okay, so abstract sense, right? Here I am mentioning that you have to summary of all those things entirely. Okay, entirely all those things are addressed in your thesis. Even I can represent, even I can write the thesis 200 to 250 pages. Even I can write the project in for 60 to 70 pages. But however, okay, whatever the informations are to be presented in detail, that to be summarized. Okay, that to be summarized. So I can say simply what is abstract. Abstract is nothing but exactly what is the summary of the synopsis or thesis. It's very important, isn't it? Here, these are paper right? You can read out here, right? All those things I mentioned. For example, here I collected some of the things. For example, the groundwater sample are collected, and what are the parameter I have collected, and I go for that. What kind of techniques are adopted? I collected something that I applied some of the things. I applied some of the formula. Mamtani fuzzy techniques here. Then finally results, I got some of the sample, it belongs to good water quality, bad water quality, and sometimes not suitable also, some excellent water quality. All those things are great like constituents or results. Okay, so we can represent the other problem statement in brief, and I would represent the method simply. What are the method are you going to implement? Sir, I'm going to apply the convolutional neural network for my data. So now you are applying convolutional neural network. Then after that, okay, what are the samples you are collected, where you are collected also you can represent, where you are collected, how many samples are collected, what even you can, sometimes it is not necessary, you can even you can find your difficulty also you can mention. Sometimes may not be may not be represented this kind of things, but you can represent what are difficulty you met. So maybe in, but mostly the researcher may be represented in the methodology section. So I struggling a lot to get the collected data. This. Okay, so difficulty you can mention. Okay, so the abstract in sense, all those things are to be mentioned, and those are the things, unnecessary things to be unbiased. It's very important. Biased. Okay, so these are the things very very important. If you go for like biasing, unbiasing, like this, some unnecessary things to be incorporated. Okay, some necessary things to be incorporated, some other another things to be recovered from this abstract. So what you do is first you start writing everything in paper or document. You write a lot of sentences. Okay, even you do in schooling, right? Rough draft, fat draft. These are already done in school itself, right? Okay, so you got to make all those things in paper or document and read all those sentences. Okay, now we come to know data. Which are important and which are not important. Okay, all those things be done. Okay, so everything to be done perfectly, but only one thing that you have to keep in mind that you have to spend your time. It's very very important, right? Isn't that? Okay, unless I spend the time, we cannot get effective proposals or effective results in my project. So I hope all the students are you allocate the time, like timing allocation for social media, right? You have to allocate your time for your preparation of your project in future. It's very important. Okay, and also you got to incorporate your I mentioning that main objectives and methods, describe the method, summarize the most important results. Even you can find n number of results, n number of consequences, but you have to address one to two things. It may be catchy, it may be reaching to other readers or other researchers. Okay, so you go to shortlist all those things of it. Okay, then you go for summarize the method, and even you can get some conclusion, right? In final stage we are getting some conclusion, so you don't want to write all those conclusion. Okay, you can write some important, or you can address all some important conclusion into that. Okay, so because normally if you go for in any interview, or if you go for if you're interacting with any publications, okay, the editor may be seeing only the abstract. Even I have reviewer in particular journals, in reputed journals, the editor will be sending only abstract. Sometimes abstract may be attractive to me, then I can accept it for review, because sometimes I don't know about that particular abstract, so just I decline it. Okay, so in order to attract with the audience, isn't it, so you should have some proper efficient abstract written statement. It's very important, isn't it? So these are, I can read it. Okay, so everything I cleared it. Okay, as I said earlier. Okay, so I address the method, I address the problem statement, I address the data collection, I address these classifications, sorry, results and discussions also. Okay, in shorter words, I mean shorten all those information. This is what summary of that entire projects. Okay, and also as I said here, right, it is the author is very very important, right? Authors is very very important. Okay, my suggestion is that don't add any authors without contributions. Okay, don't do that. Even some other faculty may be helping you, or some other tutor may be helping you. Okay, for helping, they may be provided for the laboratory to you, isn't it? They have some they provided some laboratory, or they have provided some software packages like open software or commercial software. You are going to work with them, isn't it? So those things to be acknowledgement only. See, there are a lot of protocols there, you have to follow accordingly. Okay, in research platform they have followed some protocol. Okay, only the contributions from someone you can audit, otherwise don't audit. Just you go for acknowledgement only. Okay, it's very important. And this is a checklist for abstract, I said, right? Since every time I want to fastening the presentation. Okay, so here I given some of the 4-point structures and 2-point sorry, this is a 3-point structure, like background, methods, and objectives, conclusions. Okay, sometimes we can add result separately and discussion separately. So by that we go for 4-point, sometimes we go for 3-point. So minimum 3-point to be addressed, and the maximum 4-point is addressed. So depending upon this policy of our journals, or policy of universities, regulation of the university. Okay, and you would find that the total length of that abstract. Okay, you would reduce, suppose if increasing more than 1,000. Okay, you would reduce 500 to 700 length of that content. Okay, so length of dimensions very important. Okay, so you got to reduce the dimensions. You got to reduce the dimensions. And also here what to avoid: don't include the reference to figures, tables, or sources. Don't add everything. I mean, don't add this like figures, tables, and sources. Okay, and also do not include information not in the report. So these are the things you have to keep in mind that while you doing this kind of process. And if you go for the preparing these introductions, okay, so introduction always is followed by the abstract. In thesis, sometimes it's different. Okay, in thesis also it will be like this only. It will be always the introduction followed by the abstract. Okay, So don't do earlier in the abstract. You do all those things like introductions, literature reviews, conclusions, everything. After that, you go for the abstract because we want to summarize all those things. So we cannot start at preliminary. It's not a preliminary work. Okay. So after writing the introductions part, you can after writing the methodologies conclusion only, you can start the preparation of the abstract. Okay. So after following the preparation, introduction is much important. Here, it will be like inverted triangle. It's like a inverted language. Okay, inverted triangle like this. It's a triangle and this inverted triangle. Like management, right? Always you go for like management, principle of management, like bottom level, top level, something like that. Always top level management, like 3 to 4% maybe there, isn't it? And bottom level, we are the like subordinate, lot of what subordinate, the students are the bottom level of management. Faculty maybe middle level managements, and higher authority like principals and trustee of our institute. Okay, they go for the top level management, isn't it? So, like this, if you go for like research article also, I can say always that introductions will be like that triangle, inverted triangle, which means here I'm mentioning in this slide you can see the top represent the most general information. The top represents the most general information, whereas bottom represents it's not like that. Okay, the bottom represents is always giving information about objectives, or you can give the clear statement. See, clear statement sense after reading all those many number of literatures, many number of our suggestion from the expert. So, a lot of things to be done. So, before getting clear statement, so you got to focus on where the title. You have to focus on where that what you are going to do with the data. So, clear statement to be done. So, don't get oscillated. After binding these all those projects, then finally I want to change it out the method. It's not possible. Okay, so don't think that. Okay, don't get oscillation. Okay, so first you will fix your clear statement about projects. Okay, so this to be addressed here. This is my one of the paper, and also here I'm mentioning that same paper only. I finally this end of introduction section. I'm mentioning like that. Okay, that about 30 samples are collected from Borwell and the year, and the data has been collected free and most time. These are the information to be done. Okay, like that, you get clear statements, and where you would address where the research to be done. For example, I had done my project in my Paul University and computer lab, or what we can say, some other software may be there. Okay, belongs to you. So I can do. I have collected this data. I implemented all the data in my university. They provided like that. In return for final acknowledgement, I acknowledge the university department faculty like that. Okay. So why I'm saying this, you got to follow proper protocol. Okay, you got to follow the proper protocol. And if you go for any literature reviews, right? If you go for any literature reviews, also very important. Suppose I don't know whether you are going for PG or PhD, but some of them maybe going for higher studies, isn't it? So if you go for any kind of projects proposal, or going to do some projects, you have to search what are the publications are published. You have to collect the minimum 50. At your age level, you have to collect minimum 50 paper, 50 to 100. You have to collect 50 to 100 paper. You have to read all those paper daily. Okay, and you have to see these are the source of Web of Science. I collected for my title. For example, particular title, 26 paper is published in the USA, and 14 paper are published in the China, and 8 paper is published in Mexico, and 7 paper are published in Australia and India. 16 papers. Okay, so we can come to know that India has 16, and there are Germany has 3 papers. Only the USA has a many number of papers like in particular field. Okay, you can get some overview of it. You can tell to them, sir, nobody doing this in India. Okay, only few of them addressing this kind of techniques in USA. I can do it this kind of things. Okay, so we can get clear statement. Okay, the clear statement can be obtained from this kind of literature review also. Okay, so you got to check it out. Okay, how many numbers are published. So everything is source is Web of Science. Maybe the university maybe subscribes this Web of Science. Okay, it will be very free of cost only, free of subscribes. Okay, you can find, you can put here some title. For example, impact of COVID-19 in Central Bank of India in Tamil Nadu. You can find how many papers are published. or in order to development of master plan of Tamil Nadu, okay, or assessment of economic level for master plan of our particular Gujarat state. Okay, you can search the title by putting the title into that portal. You can find this kind of things like figures, okay, like chart. You can get it. Okay, and the preparing literary review always like go for we have different section like this. Okay, so don't simply write literature review. It's single statement like that. You go for a number of subdivision maybe because subdivision of particular project content will be giving more information. Okay, so don't think that like that easily. Okay, for example, I put in here introduction is this is my literature, this is my thesis. I put in here is a 2.5 on this introduction and 2.2 is the overview of the studying mangrove ecosystem. Then accordingly you can come here 2.4 extraction of the mangrove using the monsoon. Here I put in 2.4.1, 2.4.2. Okay, and if we go for 2.5, 2.51, even you can, if you want to mention more thing under this 2.4.1, you can mention 2.4.1.1, 2.4.1.2. Like this you can do for subdivision. In this slide you can see the literature review should be divided into sections with heading that describe the content that follows in the paragraph below the headings. And so to address the different types of research that has been conducted of our topic that you are addressing, and heading should be general and subheading should be more specific. This is what I mentioning earlier. The heading should be general and subheading should be more specific. Normally, if you are doing this kind of things, right, the reader or students may be able to study the subdivision only because in subdivision will be more information. So don't study that header, right? Okay, so subdivision is only very important. And this is what how we are going to preparation of the literature review. Like if you do some paper, okay, like this, you have to write other name and in which year they done and where it is done and what are the method are adopted and what are the material they have used and what are the platform they use. Okay, what are the software they use, whether they use the Python, whether the software is SPSS, like this software they use, and what are the outcome they are done. So like this, you do some regulations. Okay, after that you can underline this. You can make highlight. Okay, which will be very important. It will be focusing your area. It will be focusing your area. Okay, then you can read those papers because I cannot read all those 500 papers. But if you this is a easiest way to come to about your projects. Okay, so one of the easiest way to come about your what we can say finalist of our title or finalist our content. Okay, so you got to prepare accordingly and you can study about the different outcomes are there. Okay, what are the outcomes and you got to correlate. Okay, so you can find the missing links. So your idea, okay, your idea may not be available in particular literature review. I collected minimum 550 paper in which my idea is not there. Nobody addressed my thought. Nobody addressed thought. So these are right time to address your project immediately. Okay, it's very competitive. Okay, so you have to do address immediately. Okay, so this is one kind of preparation. And methods very important, right? Method is another important, like after collection of the data, you have to apply the methods. Even you can find a number of methods are there. It may be existing, it may be non-existing. But at your each level, I think existing is enough. Because, for example, I studying something from first semester, second semester, third semester, fourth semester, fifth semester. You don't want to deviate. Don't want to deviate anything from our curriculum activity. What are the things you are studying? That's it. I studied things. I studied about particular data balance. Okay, bank balance. I don't know some of the terminology since I belongs to that engineering background, but I study some of the things in UG level, statistics in PG, and some fundamental principle of management and economics. Some of things I studied. Okay, so where I did some of the calculation and all. Okay, so when we go for the method, okay, when we go for the method, a number of method maybe come into picture. Okay, you got to choose the best one. Okay, so just now I said, right, it will be like existing method or non-existing method. Okay, since you're using, you don't want to go for deviate. Okay, so you have to study that from third semester, fifth semester, you got to choose, okay, which kind of technique I'm going to implement. It's enough. Okay, so don't want to go for like complex things. Okay, don't do that. So these are the methodologies building process like introduce your method. I'm going to shorten the presentation because I have the time because my presentation time will be like almost 150. Okay, I want to finish it within 2 p.m. Okay, and this established method methodological connections and introduce your instrument. See, little instrumentation is very important. Sometimes product may not be implemented, but maybe field visit may be there for our field visit may be there. Like you have to introduce your instruments. Even when I presenting this kind of project proposal in European country, I got rejected because of some of the negativity. Strength, even some strength may be there, but some of the things I did not address. So, for example, introduce your instrument. Okay, even if you're not using the instrument, you have to say, okay, I did not use any kind of instrument in my project. Instrumentation is very important. Okay, if you go for any project proposal, maybe like PhD folder are there, some research media there, students, UG students. Okay, so it will be very useful to all those people. Okay, suppose we are doing any project proposal, you would address the instrumentation about it. What are the equipment to be you going to use? Whether you are going to purchase the equipment or whether you are going to use the equipment from the network. No, no, sir. Okay, I'm not going to use any equipment. You can write something. So these are the input I can obtain from European country. Okay, you got to mention like this. So I reduce the mark. They reduce mark. So it will come to weakness. Okay, so dedication is very important for documentations. Even if it is like a thesis or if you're like a research title or project, whatever. Okay, then you have to discuss for analysis about existing work. Somebody may be done. I have done work. I have something done on my work. Okay, you are the people done something. You have to correlate with me. Okay, Sandra sir done something, have something. Okay, some of things unique in me, some of things unique in him, isn't it? So these are discussion you have to done it. Okay, these are the discussions technically, and I have to give the background informations of our. Then I have done implementation by using the Python, like some of the library I incorporated in my research, like pandas are introduced, like some of the data types are introduced. Okay, so give the background information. It will be enhance your project. It will be enhance your project in future. Okay, and finally you have to give the address the research limitation. Even these are a very even a number of process may be there, but you would address some of the important. Okay, no need to address all those information. Okay, so finally address the research limitations also very important. Okay, what are limited you are made, sir? I struggle to get field data. People are not interact with me. Okay, people are working with some other, and some of the area may be inaccessible. Okay, so these are the limitation maybe okay, so in your research, so whatever limitation whatever difficulty made or met in your uh, project journey, you would address those informations. So these are what limitations of the projects. So all those things will be uh, introduced in the methodology. But one thing you would understand that so don't confuse with method and research. Even when I was studying in the PhD in 2015, by the time I have written some of the first article, okay, when I come to write something under the methodology section, I have written all those results also. Okay, I have applied in that particular topic. These are things I got output. I mean efficiency, 90% efficiency achieved. Okay, so what I did, I address the results with the methodologies. After I come to when I come across under writing the research, I am not finding any content. So this is a great experience for me. And my guide immediately gave the direction there. Okay, so companies with methods and research. Method in sense, these are the data. I am applying some techniques in the data. Sir, I have the data. These are the method I am going to apply. Like in terms of step. That's it. Don't bother about the results. Don't address the results into the methodology section. If you address all those things in the methodology itself, you don't have any content to write under the result and discussion. Okay, because result and discussion is very important. Even if you go for a reviewer, normally since I'm reviewer from reputed journals, and even I reviewed more than 57 journals in 57 paper in the particular journal, directly went to that result and discussion only. Okay, so once I start to read the result discussion, I come to know what they are going to implement in abstract. Immediately I find out. Okay, so it will be very deciding factor for you. Even if your proposal, your one project proposal writing or implementation of the project in like consultant like that. Okay, the discussions it's a very important thing. Okay, so discussion is that I got one output. What about some other output? Okay, you got to write or you got to enhance your research with them, positive or negative. Even if you impact, suppose if you are getting negative impact with their comparing with the other researcher, you try to do, you have to replicate your research until you get the information or equally. Okay, her achieved, sir, almost achieved more than 90% as this author. So due to the reasons, he did not obtain this kind of efficiency. So the discussion, tight discussion, what do you mean is tight discussion is very, very important for project proposals. And also if you are presenting in kind of things, you would present like this. You would present the overall research methods like this, in this manner. Okay. So these are data collections, I guess. Sorry, this data processing. So data pre-processing like that, and this data processing. Okay, so very attractive for reader. I said right, some component, some things is getting associated with your project, main finding or main objectives. So these are associated with this. This field visit may be adapted. I collected in the laboratory. I done something that okay, that is associated. Here, like this is another objectives also. This is another one of the objectives, and this another objectives. Okay, so all those objectives comes together, make this overall methodology in research. In presentation also, you go to do some this kind of flow chart. Okay, this kind of flow chart will be very attractive for our evaluator. Okay, will be impressive. Okay, even if you are doing this kind of in written statement in the article, you got to follow this kind of flow chart. Okay, and isolated all those things accordingly. You got to isolate data collection. You got to isolate the methodology adapted, and you got to adapted this associated some other things from outside. For example, here I am applying wavelet techniques. Or here applying some wavelet techniques here. Okay, and I am applying here that some of the things from this other methodologies. All those things are comes together, make it as a overall research methodology is. And another thing that don't forget to add this kind of picture, because normally the picture will be giving millions of information rather than one dimensional. Normally two dimensional will be giving more than informations. Okay, so you have to add some relevant data result. Okay, after getting some results, okay, you have to give some in photos. You have to give the photos. Okay, so that will be very attractive. And these are the outright the results and discussions. I said right, don't confuse with result and discussion. So results is different and discussion is different, but it is also very too depending upon that journals. Some journals may not be asking the results, sorry, discussion. But if you go for like Springer, maybe expecting only results. But if you go for an elsewhere, okay, so they have some protocol like discussions. So you may be confusing with that outright discussions. Okay. So result and discussions, results are different, right? As I said earlier, that in methodologies, so what we do is we apply some of the techniques on the data, and we find something. Okay, so what you are going to find something on your project that will be addressing the results. Okay, for example, just now you said right, I collected some of the water quality from the environment, and that to be when feed into that some laboratory. Okay, then I collected that water quality measurements like pH, potential hydrogen, total hardness, total dissolved solids, nitrogens, total nitrate, fluoride. Okay, so all those parameters are calibrated. Okay, then I go for these some techniques in like technically if you go for like engineering. When you talk about engineering, they have like a lot of techniques are there. Okay, for example, deep learning, one kind of technique is there. Like machine learning, some kind of things are there. Like fuzzy computing tools, pretty soft computing tools, wavelet computing tools. Okay, there are a number of technical representations over there. Okay, and I said right, genetic algorithm is also there. Then different kinds of mathematical transform are there. Okay, there are various number of need finding of technically. Okay, in engineering, so that will be applied on that field, and they would address all those things. So I find okay, depending upon the method, based on the method, according to this author, okay, according to this author, I implemented my data, and these are the results are adopted. Then you have to address it. You check it up with your guidance or guide. So these are results adapted. Whether I can add this, I don't want. No, no. These are results. You have to maybe reduce your accuracy. You do the replication of the projects. Then you can do. Then like we can do the flow chart maybe like that. If it is not getting satisfied results, you go for the start. Okay, till attain the satisfied results. Okay, like a flow chart you do. Okay, so you address all those these things in the results. Okay, only the finding to be addressed. So don't confuse the method. Don't want mentioning. I want to apply the particular technique into image. I want to apply the particular image to commerce data. I don't want to do that. I applied already. Address only thing. Word address. If you want to address, you have to shorten the sentence because already elaborated in this particular section. So don't want to elaborate in this kind of section. Okay, if you want to explain, if you want to give the explanation, you have to shorten the sentence, but you have to increase the result in section. You have to increase the result in section. For example, these are the things I have obtained. These are the, for example, 30% of samples are collected, are obtained good water quality. 70% is not suitable of water quality. Like this, you have to mention. Okay, static informations. Okay, you got to give the statistical information also in terms of figures. Okay, all those things to be given. So you got to increase the figures because I said right, two-dimensional information will be giving more information. So it is justification of your results, and also it is validate your results. Okay, it is validations pictures. Okay, so pictures is highly important to you. Okay, and also I mentioning here what to do and what should not do. All those things are here I mentioning. And when you talk about the grammar, right, it's a past sentence to discuss what happened in the research. Don't want to do any future sentence. Okay, and normally the people won't do this kind of future sentence in the paper because we don't do that because already the work is done. Okay, so since work is done, you would address only the past. I had done, have I done. Okay, instead of saying I have done, it is like a present participle, past participle. Don't want to do that. Okay, only you would write that past tense. I collected the data from particular bank. So difference is there. I have collected the data from the particular bank. I collect the data from particular bank. So you have some knowledge on the English also. Because after getting mind, I want to represent it in the paper. So next after finding the something from my mind, since I want to represent, okay. So the structures, grammars, so very important. Even we are from non-native English speaker, but we should do no way. Okay. So type discussion also I mentioned, right? After result I discussed. Okay, so these are the result. You have to mention. You give the soundness of methods, soundness of the result. Okay, after finding the results, okay, not be obtained by particular author. Okay, so this is what the tend to be need funding. This is what to be tends to be need funding. Okay, so these are things very important. So I cannot speak all those things within 1 hour. It is like ocean to address all those things. But I think I given some of the little bit input to you. Okay, keeping that. So accordingly, we will do it. Okay, and I given some of the conclusion part of the also here. Okay, so what is your observation means? Summarize the most important finding at the beginning. Okay, and what conclusion can be draw? That is, you have to explain all those things. Okay, explain how results relate to the expectations on the to literature's review. Because literature review done something. Okay, some author obtained 95.4 efficiency. I obtained 96 percentage. So this information to be addressed. You want to mention your address author also. Don't go about that. Okay, you want to mention address author also. This is what we can say the research, right? So explain your results related to the expectation and the literature cited in your introduction section, because you address all those things in the introduction section itself after collecting the literature review. Okay, so after discussion, you go to address. You go to address the result discussion with respect to literatures, because in literatures, what you do is you go to address all those problems, all those existing techniques. Okay, and we are going to do something in end of the process, at the end of the introduction sections. I said no, it is like an inverted triangle. In inverted triangle, in bottom triangle, given more information. In top level management, I mean top level triangle, we are giving less information. Okay, in this session, your information should be answered this that bottom level of the triangle. Okay, which means you have to explain your results and expectation based on your literature reviews. Okay, so there is a very important point that I have discussed with you. Okay. And I got to think, I have a question like this, right? Give the big pictures. Do your findings help us to understand product traffic? Whether your finding is answer research questions? Okay, research questions are another important activity in your research journey. Okay, after finding your research, your finding able to answer the research questions, or otherwise don't add the research questions in your project. Don't want to address. Or otherwise, sometimes after finding something, you have to make the research question, reverse process. Because we are not like scientists, right? We are like college students. Okay, what we are covered in the schooling, what we are covering up to our, okay, you can do up to our level one day. Okay, so don't want to do like a greater manner. You do the things in great things in smaller manner. So this is my experience. And this is what preparing the bibliography, like references. Okay, it's a very mandatory details you have to address. Okay, so no other mentioning this kind of, addressing this kind of bibliography. That is called a reference. It's maybe like single author and two other or more than five other. Even maximum depends upon that particular journal. I think up to 15 authors may be accepted by some of the journals. Okay, so how to represent those things in like bibliography? Okay, there is references. So these are the rules are to be there. Some like all entries are listed in the alphabetic order. It's very important. The first others are last name and numbers. But however, it is depending upon the policy of the journals. Some journals, okay, or some university may not be giving numbers for reference section. Okay, some universities or some journals may be giving the reference sections like this. You have to give the number, okay, or you have to give the excuse me, சொல்லுங்க sir, சொல்லுங்க sir. Okay, 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 okay sir, complete. So okay, so I want to complete it. Okay, so these are the reference section to be done. Okay, so you have to follow. There are a number of materials available in the open source. Okay, so it's very important you got to give accordingly. You got to follow some protocol of reference bibliography. Okay. So here also the citation to be done in the introduction section like this. Okay. So here in my paper I given like Sellakumar et al. 2017. Okay. Then another author Manihaf et al. Chandrasekhar et al. Okay. Like this. And if you go for two other like Chang and Chang 2006. Okay. So like this you got to follow the citation to be mentioned. Okay. So don't write sentence anything without citation. Citation sense what? You have to give the incorporation of the author's name in particular state. For example, the groundwater assessment and degradation have been studied extensively by various researchers. Okay, so you have to give the citation for them. Don't leave that. Okay, so proper citation is important for introduction sections. Okay, so it is I summarize this. I covered all those things. How to fix the title. Okay, what should to follow in introduction section. How to do the literature review. What should not do in the literature sections, and how to discuss. What to discuss in the result discussions. How to write, and how to discuss the results. What are the things to be keep in mind that, and what is the difference between the method and the result and discussions. Okay, how to make the abstract. Okay, so everything is it does not come from man, it comes from the experience. Okay, so how to write our projects, have any queries, immediate, have ID, and I given my phone number. Note it down. Any queries, just give me, yeah. Note it down my mail ID and phone number. Okay, so if you have any doubt, just go to drop the message in my mail to directly. So thanks for the opportunity. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much, sir, for this wonderful topic and preparing and sharing the information in detail. Now, I would like to request Dr. Jagdish Valan sir for giving the vote of thanks to Selvaraj sir. Dr.
Thank you, Mehul. Uh,
Can you interact, sir? Cannot be interact.
Hello,
Hello.
can you hear me, sir?
Hi, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, sir. So, a very good afternoon to all of you. It gives me an immense pleasure to deliver the vote of thanks for this event to all dignitaries assembled here. I would like to thank our expert of the day, Dr. A. Silvaraj, sir, who honored these functions with his inspirational thoughts. I would like to thank our beloved principal, staff members, and students, participants, volunteers, and last but not the least, our beloved audience for making this webinar as a grand success. So, I would like to say some few words regarding the A. Silvaraj sir, because I think within short period, sir has accepted our invitations and sir has delivered the lecture. So I very much thankful to you, sir.
Yes, sir.
So once again, I thanks one and all present here. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you so
Thank you.
much.
Thanks a lot.
Okay, sure, sir. Thank you so
Okay,
much.
shall I close this, sir?
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you.
Yes, sir. Okay, have a great day, sir. Bye bye.
Okay, sir. Thanks for opportunity.
Thank you. Thank you so much. It's my pleasure, sir. Have a great day.
Okay,
Bye
sir.
bye, sir.
Have a nice day to participants also. I think participants will not be there. I think they left the meeting immediately due to lunch.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
It's lunch time, but still, all the participants have, you know, had a good. They gain a good knowledge from your from your webinar and from
Whatever
your
I
talk.
can add, sir. I given. I hope all
Yes,
those things to be given. I think they want to follow.
yes, sir. Definitely.
They want to follow.
Yes, sir. Yes, yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you so
Okay,
much.
sir.
Have a great day, sir. Bye
Thank you
bye.
so much, sir. Have a great day, sir.